My name's Jake, and I swear, if you'd told me a year ago I'd be in a full-on war with my HOA over a damned planter, I'd have laughed in your face. But here we are, and let me tell you, this ain't just about flowers, it's about sticking it to the queen of petty tyranny. HOA Karen. It all started last spring when I moved into this cookie-cutter suburban hellhole in Maple Grove. A neighborhood so obsessed with uniformity, you'd think we were auditioning for a dystopian flick. I'm a single dad, work-from-home mechanic, and I like to tinker cars, furniture, you name it. So, naturally, I wanted to spruce up my front yard with a DIY planter. Nothing crazy, just a wooden box for some marigolds and herbs. Something to make the place feel like mine. Big mistake. See? Maple Grove is ruled by Linda, the HOA president who makes Nurse Ratched look like a sweetheart. Linda's the kind of woman who'd measure your grass blades with a ruler and send you a violation notice for being half an inch too tall. She caught wind of my planter before I'd even hammered the first nail. One sunny afternoon, I'm out front sketching my design when she rolls up in her golf cart. Yes, a freaking golf cart like she's patrolling a prison yard. "Jake, that thing," she says, pointing at my half-built box like it's a biohazard, "is unapproved. It violates Regulation 7.2.1 non-conforming exterior modifications." I blink, dumbfounded. It's a planter. Linda. For flowers. She smirks, her Botoxed lips barely moving. Submit a formal request. And don't expect approval. Then she hands me a neon yellow violation slip and peels out, leaving me standing there like an idiot. I tried playing nice. Submitted the request. Waited 2 weeks. Only to get a letter back saying my planter was aesthetically incompatible with the neighborhood's cohesive vision. Cohesive vision. The houses here are so identical, I've almost walked into my neighbor's place thinking it was mine. That's when I realized Linda wasn't just enforcing rules, she was drunk on power, and my planter was her latest target. I stewed for days, picturing her smug face every time I looked at my sad, empty yard. Then it hit me if she wanted to play dirty. I'd play dirtier. I wasn't just going to build a planter. I was going to build a masterpiece that'd make her head explode. I spent weeks planning in secret, turning my garage into a workshop. Picture me, late at night, surrounded by sketches, power tools, and empty coffee cups. My daughter Ellie sneaking me snacks and giggling at my evil genius vibe. The plan, a multi-level garden shelf, 3 tiers, cedarwood, with a built-in water feature that trickled like a Zen fountain. It'd be gorgeous, functional, and technically compliant with every HOA rule, because I read that 50-page handbook cover to cover. I'd use native plants, keep it under the height limit, and anchor it to the ground so it wasn't a temporary structure. But I knew Linda would hate it, because it'd outshine her boring azaleas and scream, "Jake, don't play by your rules." Building it was a grind. I'm good with my hands. But this was next-level custom-cut wood, a pump for the water feature, and a hidden drainage system so it wouldn't flood my yard. Ellie helped paint the shelves sage green, and we even carved our initials into a hidden corner, like a middle finger to the HOA. By the time it was done, it was a work of art, 3 tiers of herbs, flowers, and succulents, with water cascading softly over slate stones. I set it up in my front yard at dawn, staked a sign in the ground that read, "Freedom Garden, Screw Ho," in bold red paint, and waited for the fireworks. Linda showed up by noon, her golf cart screeching to a halt. Her face went from pink to purple, like she was about to pop a blood vessel. "What is this?" she shrieked, waving her clipboard like a battle axe. I leaned against my porch railing, sipping coffee, cool as a cucumber. "It's my garden. Linda, fully compliant. Check the handbook. Section 4.3.2. She sputtered, flipping through her precious rulebook, but I knew she'd find nothing. The shelf was perfect, every measurement, every material, every plant checked out. The water feature a decorative irrigation aid, allowed under Section 6.1. Her eyes locked on the sign, and I swear, I thought she'd combust. "This is vandalism," she yelled. "It's on my property." "Linda," I shot back, "and it's staying. For weeks. She tried to fight it, sent violation notices, called emergency HOA meetings, even got a lawyer to send me a cease and desist letter. But I had receipts, photos, permits, everything." The neighbors started whispering, some even sneaking over to compliment the garden when Linda wasn't looking. One guy, Tom, said it made his morning coffee feel like he was at a spa. That's when I knew I'd won. Not just the battle, but the war. Linda's power trip was crumbling, and my garden was the talk of Maple Grove. The fallout was sweet. Linda's obsession with my shelf made her look unhinged. She started nitpicking everyone else's yards, but people were done with her. At the next HOA meeting, 3 board members resigned, and rumor has it, she's on thin ice as president. My garden's still standing, blooming like crazy, and every time I hear that water trickle, I smile. Knowing I got under her skin, Ellie calls it Dad's revenge fountain, and I ain't arguing. Sometimes, you don't just fight the man you outsmart him, outbuild him, and outlast him. So, what do you think? Was I petty? Or was this justice hit me up with your take? The end.